What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Markets are wild right now. Oil's dropping. We have a potential ceasefire, but Iran is denying it. And Iran's response to the US strikes has traders shook. Want to know what went down this weekend? And today during the stock market. And which stocks are about to take off? Hit that like button and stick with me. Let's unlock trades that'll stack your cash this week. And I'm also going to be giving you guys some stocks to watch and play and some plays towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. Let's get started. Some big movements that happened today was Tesla's almost 9% gain. We also had him and hers health dropping 30%. We have a lot of news to talk about. Let's get started. So to start off, let's rewind the weekend. So things got crazy. Iran and Israel conflict blew up after the US bombed Iran's nuclear sites on Saturday. Then today, we got some news, and honestly, it was insane. But Iran fired back with symbolic strikes on US airbase in Qatar with 6 missiles. Most of them got shot down, and one was let go because it was not on target and not aimed at anything that would danger anybody. So we have one of the biggest drops since 2022, but oil is falling because of this, because it wasn't really a big strike, and honestly made Iran look a little weak. And some more news showing that the Strait of Hormuz isn't really going to get shut down. Oil is selling off a decent amount. We're lower than the levels from when the war initially started with Israel striking Iran. For anyone that's trying to take their trading to the next level, made a website with a bunch of courses that you guys can check out. First link in the description below. Check it out if you guys want to up your knowledge on the stock market. Relatively cheap courses, and we have sales going on. So check them out while the sales is still happening. Here's what to watch for the rest of the week. So watch Middle East tensions. We're getting a lot of news and potential ceasefires. Trump's and other countries are pushing for a ceasefire, and even at one time saying there is one, but quickly after that, Iran denied agreeing to a ceasefire or even talking about one in general. Seeing these recent strikes, it does not seem like Iran truly wants a war with the United States, shooting 6 missiles back and none of them hitting after US came in undetected and well-planned attack. Honestly, doesn't look like Iran has much of a chance in any of this. But some more things to watch is some economic data. The data came out today, was great, beat every single number. So for the S&P PMI 53.1 and the forecasted was 53. We also had 52. Forecast was 51.5, beat expectations, and existing home sales was 4 million.03. The expected was 3.95. So we had some great numbers today, bringing markets up a decent amount. And also that ceasefire towards the end of the day brought markets up as well after hours trading. But some other things today, Tuesday, June 24th, we got the home price index. Drum also comes out and it's going to be a different speech. He's going to get questioned way more, and maybe we can get a more clear response on how he views rate cuts in the overall market. Wednesday, we have new home sales, and Friday, PCE price index, the Fed's inflation gauge. It's going to be big. So keep these on your radar overall. So we've seen Bitcoin has been very volatile. We broke below that 100K level. But honestly, after these strikes and stuff like that, oil spiked and the overall stock market spiked as well. We got the SPY at 600, SPX over 6,000. Honestly, markets are moving pretty strong. Kind of shrugged off this war. Honestly, market is spiking because of a war is kind of insane. But with that being said, we do have Bitcoin at that 105 level. So watch that 107 to that 108 to that 110 next. And some stocks to trade with Bitcoin is going to be IBIT. It's an ETF that moves exactly with Bitcoin. You make a decent amount of money with this one. You can also trade other stocks like MSTR. MSTR moves with Bitcoin. You can make a decent amount of money off some option plays, and or if you just want to buy shares. And also check out Coinbase as well. Coinbase is moving pretty strong, trading at that 313. Probably get 320 to like that 350 level next if Bitcoin starts rallying even more. So keep Bitcoin on your radar. Some other things on the Strait of Hormuz. Basically, yesterday, I think over the weekend, we got some news saying that Iran was planning on shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. But basically, China, if you guys don't know China, they buy at least 80% of Iran's oil, and 20% of the global oil comes out of the Strait of Hormuz. And China basically wants the trade to remain good and balanced. And if they shut down the Strait of Hormuz, it's not going to be good and balanced. And honestly, China would not be so happy if they do make trade imbalanced. So keep that in mind overall. They're not really going to shut down and piss off other countries as well. That would be kind of bad overall. But we also had Russia coming out saying that they would supply Iran with nuclear warheads. But seeing how the Iran conflict went, it could happen the same, but maybe not as easy, of course. But US strikes bought B-2 bombers, went undetected nonstop for 36 hours, and they got the refuel 5 times within that time. throwing off decoys and fake signals, also shutting down Iran's communications. So honestly, a war with Russia is probably going to be the same, but more modern to say. But this is keeping it a firm bid on aerospace stocks like ITA and other stocks like that. So keep these on your radar as well. We also see a lot more pressure building up on Jerome to cut rates from countries, and even other Fed partners are saying that they want cuts as well. But keep in mind, overall, even if another Fed partner says that they want to cut, the overall decision is on Jerome himself. But we do have an 80% cut by September. So speaking back on the ceasefire talks, we do have a lot of stocks, a lot of other countries' stocks going up. But with that being said, with the ceasefire deal, we did have Iranian official tell CNN that they never received ceasefire proposal overall. So keep this in mind because this can bring markets down because people are pumping this up. But honestly, if it really comes out official that there's going to be no ceasefire, more attacks and stuff like that, it could maybe bring markets down, but it might not, drag it down too much. Just maybe lose the gains that we gained from the ceasefire talks. But let's talk about him and hers health. So basically, dropped 34% over some bad news. So they got slammed today with Nova Nordisk cutting off him and hers health from selling the lower price weight loss drugs and also accusing them for failing to adhere to the law. Stock is down 34%. So keep this on your radar to the downside and maybe fill in some gaps to the upside. Just have your patience with this one, see how it opens up. Stock market. Next one's gonna be Tesla. We had a big rally today, over 8%, almost 9. And I even played some calls myself and profited pretty well. But the robotaxi was pretty well. And there's actually a video that came out showing a Tesla robotaxi bugging out. I could try to show that video towards the end of the video, but I got to look for it. But honestly, it still went pretty well, and the stock is still benefiting and pushing to the upside. So look at Tesla to the upside, because honestly, when Tesla pushes, it keeps on pushing. With that being said, man, some supports and resistance and stuff like that to look at for stocks. For the overall SPY, look at that 605, 607, and that 610 level to the upside. Past that, look at 615. To the downside, though, if we do start selling off, look at 602.5, 601, and that 600 level flat. If we break below that, look at 598 and that 595 level for the SPY. NVIDIA is moving pretty strong. We finally made a breakout to the upside. So I would want to look at the highs first, that 146 level. Past that, look at 146.5, 147, and that 150 level for NVIDIA. We do start selling off because we kind of have some gaps to fill downwards. Look at that 145, 144.5, that 143.5, and that 140 level to the downside for NVIDIA overall. We did get some bad news with the China chip curves getting kind of banned a little bit more. We just keep on getting that back and forth, but that is bad news on NVIDIA. But we did break some gaps to the upside. And honestly, next gap to fill is that 146, that 147. So watch out for NVIDIA overall. Apple is looking pretty strong and it built up pretty strong as well. We did break some gaps to the upside last second with that ceasefire talks. With that being said, look at that 202.5, 203.5, and all the way up to that 205 level. Past that, look at 210 for Apple. To the downside, if we do start selling off, look at that 202, 201.5, 200, and that 199.5 and 195. With that being said, some stocks to watch for this week and today. When stock market opens, first one's going to be ExxonMobil. Look at oil to the downside, but we do have some gaps to fill to the upside as well. If we get bad or good news, so good news meaning like ceasefire or anything good overall with the war, you can see oil going down even more. But if we do get bad news, maybe some more strikes and or they strike US bases again and it's even more deadlier, maybe an actual missile hits or they just go harder this time, you can see oil spiking up even more. And still watch the Strait of Hormuz. If that gets shut down, you can see oil prices spiking up even more. So watch ExxonMobil overall. Next will be Tesla. We already hyped it up enough. The robotaxi launch was pretty well, and it is just spiking, and you can see some more momentum to the upside. Do watch that 360, 365, 370, and that 380 to that 400 level for Tesla, especially if you keep on going up. Next one's going to be Apple, just because of the price level is looking pretty good, looking pretty bullish, especially if we keep on getting good news in the market overall. We can see 205 to that 210 level for Apple, so watch Apple. Next one's going to be NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been moving pretty strong, filled up some gaps, broke some key levels. And like I said before, watch that 146 to 147 for NVIDIA overall. And Palantir is one that I want to see either make or break. So watch that 142.5. And then to the downside, if we do start breaking down, look at that 136.5. If you could break above this level, look at it to the upside. If we break below this level, watch it to the downside overall. With that being said, though, this is the stock market outlook for today. Thank you for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Have your patience with this market. Anything can really change. Any news can really come out. I try to make shorts every single day to update you guys and throughout the day update you guys with all the news that's coming out. So keep that in mind overall. But just take your time with this market. Be willing to adjust. If you're playing a call, stocks start like breaking downwards, sell that call, take whatever loss and or profit you have, and play a put option, and or you can hold it. I do recommend playing your options if you do play options 2 to 3 weeks out, just so it's a little bit more safe. Because honestly, you can see a stock fall down and then come back up afterwards. You can probably take profit then. But have your patience with this market. Comment down below if you guys have any questions. Let me know how you guys feel about the overall war. I'll see you guys in the next video. Check out the site below. Check out some shorts and some other videos, and peace out. I'm also coming out with daily blogs to update you guys with the stock market before I even make these videos. So if you guys want early news, early stock plays, and things to watch, check out the site as well. This is completely free. Just go into the website, go into Creator's blog. You guys can check it out if you guys want.